So this is politics as usual. I guess I don't know if people are hearing about it right now, but I think everyone is going to be able to stay in your homes now. Don't worry about it. The sheriff is not coming. The government cares about you so much that they plan about
I
this
tried to keep a straight
months
face.
ahead. They make sure that you stay in your home. Here in Black Power Magic Hour, Dr. Eugene tonight, we can contest. We've been reporting this shit over and over again because like we knew this shit was gonna happen, and it happened.
Almost from the beginning, almost from the inception of BPMH, we've been talking about, because remember that the eviction moratorium had several deadlines from like 2 months after the Rona locked everything down, and then every month or a few months afterwards when they would have to push that deadline back, you saw people get more and more desperate. We saw evidence of this over a year ago.
I don't see it as an excuse. Everyone's saying, "Oh, the politicians they weren't paying attention." No, they were paying. They were
Oh yeah,
exactly
they
what
knew. They
they were
knew.
paying attention. So like,
Even
plus
Nancy Pelosi, she's a landlord. Believe me, she knows.
she was paying it, and I want to start off first about because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, people should have saved their money and stayed in their homes." Like people need to spend their money better. That's why all these people are getting affected. Literally, we had a report that came out, stats that came out that said that no one can afford any apartment on minimum wage. It's impossible to survive on minimum wage in any state in the United States. $15 an hour gets you nowhere in America when it comes to apartment. So already people are struggling to pay rent right off the bat.
Oh, and by the way, $20 wouldn't cut it either. just so that you know. Okay? When people were doing fight for 15, I understand this is not dash and bash, but when people were doing fight for 15, they were fighting a losing battle because by the time they make the minimum wage $15, the median rent is going to be $3,500 a month.
So I like this finding the study right here that debunks this kind of thing. That
Oh, well, we
it's really
knew that.
it's really
We knew that
cool.
before they did it.
We needed scientists and mathematicians to talk about it first, even though people don't listen to working people don't listen to poor people don't listen to everyday people.
Well, guess what?
Who've been
They're not
saying
going to listen to mathematicians and economists either.
if they're
They
not
don't
listening
even want to
science-
listen to epidemiologists about an unknown pathogen.
so right here we've covered this before. We covered this when it was like 12 states that were extended unemployment. It went up to 25 states, almost half the country. These cruel people, and they all or some of the federal benefits paid unemployment. Mind you, these states ended money that wasn't their money, and they stopped people
Why did
from
you say
getting.
almost half? You know that there are only 50 states, right? 25 is exactly half.
So it's half. Yeah.
Math. We're talking math here.
No, I
Let's
don't.
at least be accurate while we're
Yeah,
sitting here.
I don't know, Hawaii and Alaska. So they don't want to be states, but so
Texas doesn't want to be a state like
Texas
every
don't wanna be a
5 years. They don't want to be a
Texas wanna
state.
be a state, or yeah. So states said that benefits were keeping people from looking for work. This is what like old rich white people were saying.
Yeah.
They try to put states. Um,
Because they think that $300 a week is somehow lucrative when they wipe their ass with that money.
so 25 states ended their participation in at least some of the programs since mid-June. Louisiana ended theirs a few days ago. Bunch of assholes. So 26 states, like so more than half, largely Republican led, are ending this. This is crazy. You have no business keeping people from getting their money. It keeps repeating over and over again. Largely Republicans.
Yeah, and the funny thing,
So-
it really borders on hatefulness because that money was budgeted by the federal government, meaning that it wasn't coming from the state government. It wasn't coming from their own individual budgets, and they still shit on their own constituents.
So I want to put what we're talking about here about the fact that it didn't. They all of a sudden become desperate and want to like work on the plantation. That didn't happen. Specifically, the share of adults receiving unemployment benefits fell sharply by 2.2 percentage. We did see it. The cruelness happened. We saw the cruelness happen. They took that money away. That translated to a 60% reduction on unemployment rolls. They literally wiped away everybody off the unemployment by ending this unemployment. That's so cruel. But there wasn't a corresponding increase in employment among this group. In fact, the share of adults fell. People stopped looking. Oh, word! Not only these jobs suck, but the government is not gonna. The government doesn't want to support me, like, so I can change my life, do something else in my life. Fuck that, you know.
Yo, we've been reporting on Dash and Bash how people are leaving the doors unlocked at Burger King. They're just walking the fuck out. We out, son. And we're talking. And again, we talked about this last fucking week. Did we not talk about this last week? We're talking about people are leaving these jobs where their dignity is being systematically stripped from them on a daily, hourly, minutely, secondly basis.
People are leaving these jobs like the Rapture. People are leaving these jobs like Bugs Bunny. And he leaves like his smoke behind and he's gone. But it's like,
yo, you just see a bunch of naked bodies and then you see McDonald's and Wendy's and what is it, Burger King uniforms just flapping about in the sky as they settle back to Earth with no bodies in them. And the thing is, these are people who are not collecting unemployment. These are people that worked through the Rona. They didn't get any unemployment. And they said, you know what? These slave wages with no respect, we out of here. We don't want to do these jobs whether we get unemployment or not. So I'm telling you again, Mr. Turtle in a half shell.
Mitch, you're talking about Mitch McConnell?
Yes, sir.
Turtle.
Okay, Mr. Turtle in a half shell. Mr. Turtle that grows his own turtleneck shirts.
Yo, like this, and like, we show stats, but I really want to show this crazy story that came up in AP, because, like, you know, these are real life consequences. Like, they miss right now. We're gonna talk about next about, because Biden spoke today about they're gonna try to do some lit noodle thing about evictions. But first, I want to show something, because they delayed it, because they let it expire. Literally, fucking landlords were running to the courthouses. They were running to the fucking courthouses. I want to show.
Remember, they're only going to do something about the evictions after Cuomo resigns from the governorship of New York.
Yeah, he's out of there. But somehow he's out of there before Trump, but that's a whole nother story.
That's
a whole nother story.
Yep. Yeah, we're not going to speak on that.
Yeah,
I just told you. It was like Trump, a little bit of an alley-oop pass for you to slam it down. You know what I'm saying?
But I want to show this like eviction thing. Literally, soon as like, okay, whoa, the eviction moratorium expired. These fucking demons went out there and were fucking kicking people out in the streets.
And I want you guys to understand something. When people think about the evict-pocalypse, I think in the minds of a lot of middle Americans, they're thinking about Tyrone and Shaniqua that are going to be dealing with this shit. But no, it's going to be people that look like you and people that don't look like you.
My rent because I was in the hospital for a while.
He was in the hospital.
And also I got backed up during the wintertime because of the pandemic and the coronavirus, and I ended up being backed up on my rent, and my landlord doesn't want to hear it, so he got me evicted. I feel lost. I feel helpless. I feel like I can't do anything, even though I work and I got a full-time job. I can't. It doesn't help.
Wait, did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Did you hear that? Did you hear what just happened? This man is being evicted, even though he has a full-time job. What does that mean?
Well, he's supposed to pull himself up by his bootstraps.
He found that job that people always say the claim you have to get to pay your rent. He found the job.
But wait, he's being evicted because he's lazy, right? Isn't that how it goes? Like,
he was in the hospital and he still went back to work. You know, like,
he's lazy, good for nothing, who wants a handout. Yes, yeah. He's looking for a handout.
That's why he's there.
Me right now, and nobody seems to want to help. Right now, I don't know. I have no plan. I'm screwed. Pretty much screwed. I have no plan. They gave me 3 weeks. They wanted to give me 6 days to get out.
6 days?
They gave me 3 weeks because I begged for it. And in 3 weeks,
Oh,
I haven't
wow.
got any
They're
work
really
money
trying to
out.
be helpful.
Well, what am I going to do? I was backed up 4 months, and I ended up talking to my landlord, telling him the situation with my medical, and trying to see if he would work with me. And he didn't want to hear it. He's like, "Why am I going to wait for your rent when I can get somebody else moving in here?" So he's
Pause
selling
it.
me
Pause
out.
that. Pause it. Pause it. Pause it. Pause it. Right there. Right fucking there. And this is the shit. And I said this over a year ago on this show. These landlords are so thirsty to harm their tenants. Who is going to rent your apartment if everybody's evicted? Who's going to be left?
The robot legs and the robot dogs. Man.
Do you really think someone looking for an apartment is thinking, you know what? I think I'm going to go to whatever place in Rhode Island that is to rent your rinky-dink shitty apartment?
Yeah.
No. No, this is a countrywide mass eviction. Oh, why should I wait for you to give me money that I know that you're good for because you go to work every day, when I can leave the unit empty and then have to drop the rent again, and then advertise it with yet another lower rent because there is no one to rent the fucking apartment, asshole. Please continue.
So he can get his money, which I kind of agree with the guy. He needs to make his money too, but you got to work with people. Everybody's having hardships right now. Everybody needs.
Well, the landlord needs to get a job too.
What if a tenant goes to actually rent that apartment and then finds out that the landlord acts like that and it says, fuck that, I'm not dealing with you?
Yeah, why do I want to deal with a landlord like this in the first place? No, televised.
I was gonna say, tell us who your fucking landlord is so everybody knows who not to rent from.
You should have spelled his name out and everything, yo.
I mean, you're getting evicted anyway, right? What's there to lose?
Exactly. I would spell his name out, his social security number, all that shit.
Hey, yo, who has their landlord's social security number?
I think it was $5,200 of unpaid rent, and that amount is
Wait,
now
I didn't hear that.
a judgment.
How much?
And that unpaid rent, him for I think it was $5,200.
$5,200.
And that amount.
You're kicking a man out in the streets for $5,200, yo. You dirtbag motherfuckers.
Technically accrues interest at 1% a month. More important, probably, it's public record on the court system.
Pause.
And obviously,
public record on the court system. When you do this to everybody at once, there's going to be no one to rent your shitty apartment. And now you got somebody who's homeless who you're still expecting to keep paying to still pay you. You still want him to still want him to pay you.
You still want that $1,500 though, right?
Right?
Yeah.
So what the landlord thinks is going to happen is I'm going to be able to rent this apartment out for $2,500 and look at all the money I'm going to get, and no one is going to answer your listing. Nobody. So you know what you're going to end up with? Zero.
Like if this landlord was a monster ass person, he'll understand that it was more financially responsible to keep the man in the house and get that $1,500 in a different arrangement rather than kick him out and then hopefully out in the streets he can.
The dude could have paid $2,000 a month and paid it off and the whole thing in 9 months.
Yeah.
Right? But no. We don't want to do that because maybe Jeff Bezos is going to come along and rent the apartment. Jeff Bezos is going to rent the apartment, y'all.
He's going to land his dickhead on top of it.
We will have arguably some effect on his ability to rent an apartment and
he's smiling.
to get any other.
Yeah, he's happy about it.
Going forward, there comes a point where landlords will simply say, for example, if I were to take rent relief money now, I'm just going to be back here next month because the person has no more ability to pay.
Well, the landlord needs to find a job too, because.
But the dude says he has a full-time job. We're not talking about somebody who's not working.
So that story.
We're not talking. If you take the rent relief check for somebody who is working full time,
feel good for that check.
You're not going to end up back here a month from now. And the dude was all too happy to see that man's life destroyed. Because as long as it's not happening to him, and as long as he's living in his gated community, and he's able to get a blowjob from, from somebody working the corner, because ain't nobody halfway attractive looking at that guy. That guy is not getting consensual sex from a woman.
He looks like an albino Jabba the Hutt. Like,
hello. But as long as the problem is not happening to him, and he knows that somebody else's life is worse than his, he can stand up there with a smile. Look, we ruined his life. See, yes. That judgment is a matter of public record for 20 years. And look what I did. You're a piece of shit.
That man was crying in the courtroom, and you're like smiling with the press. Like, oh, like.
Sir, you're a piece of fucking shit.
So I got to share this. This is kind of like lukewarm, weak news, because
damn, that pissed me off so much. Not my ears are itching.
So I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share this next. If this shitty ass page doesn't do all that HTML fancy stuff. So we just had breaking news like a couple hours ago that Biden finally had the political will, because he had the political will the whole time. It's just weird to me the juxtaposition between Trump, who no Democrat had to sleep on the Capitol steps to get anything happening when it comes to eviction moratorium. For some reason, in Biden, we had to have people sleep on the Capitol Hill in protest in order to prevent. Luckily, we have one politician in the Capitol right now who experienced homelessness herself, Cori Bush, one, and that's what it took. Literally, one politician who experienced homelessness before to be out there. Like, yo, this is crazy. I'm not going on a 6-week vacation. Because everyone else was going on vacation. Everyone else got in their planes, were about to go get ready the vacation. But she was like, nah, I slept in the car with my son before I was a politician. Like, I know, I already feel the pain that people are going to have. And she started this movement and this little thing. And then now Biden actually wants to try to half-ass do something. So Biden said Tuesday that his top health agency was planning to announce a new eviction moratorium. So he's still kind of passing the blame to somebody else, even though he has full authority to change this.
That honeymoon is ending very, very soon for Joe Biden.
After he allowed the previous freeze to expire. So the new ban expected to apply to areas of the country with high substantial transmission of COVID-19 in the last 60 days.
So that means that people in places that don't have the highest transmission, they're not going to be just as homeless, I guess.
No, yeah, you're different kind of homeless. You're back in the day homeless.
Maybe he's trying to help find a home for COVID-19. If you put them all out into the streets, maybe you can get some higher rates. I mean, what the fuck are they doing?
So the resolution, which is expected to come late Tuesday, so we might hear something live on the show, was stopped short of another nationwide eviction freeze. This is what we need, is eviction freeze, because right now there are people who are months behind rent. We showed that report of that one guy who was just 4 months behind rent. There's people fucking more than 8 months behind rent right now, with kids. So,
I mean, there's probably people that's like 12 months behind.
Damn.
You know?
Yeah.
It's possible, because people were able to start getting, some jobs, but they're able to pay this month's rent and maybe a part of the rent that they should have paid before. But even in the best case scenario, with things being as tight as they are and inflation, rising to the high heavens, there's really not a whole lot that people can do. Again, with inflation being what it is, and people want to talk about the economy. If everybody's fucking homeless, nobody's going to buy your goddamn movie tickets. Okay?
We already know that people are emotionally better when they're housed. People make more money when they're housed. Like, it's hard to make money when you're homeless.
I don't think that was like a far leap.
Well, what? Yeah.
Hey, if you're not homeless,
you're happy.
You're gonna be happier than if you are homeless.
I see that people don't get it. I don't see like people don't get it, Dr. Richie. People think that people are still gonna be
Does
happy.
It take an evil fucking genius to understand that a person is gonna be more stable if they have a place to live than if they don't?
So this finance want to put like, so it's expected to be directed at areas where the spread of virus is acute, and expect to have an end date at the start of October. But the exact timeline is still being worked out now. It's so crazy when it comes to poor people. They're like, we got to go into the minutia and like go with like tweezers.
And what's going to be different in October?
But when it comes to giving like building stadiums or giving some guy billionaire tax write off, they ain't using no tweezer. They're like, yo, here's the cash. Here's the cash. No receipts.
Yep.
But poor people, they're like, I gotta we take our time, like, yo.
Yep. And again, you want to do this moratorium until sometime in October.
Yeah.
What will be materially different in October besides the fact that we're probably heading for another lockdown by then?
Halloween,
because
be happy on Halloween.
The Lambda variant is probably on the horizon.
Yeah,
that is going to be even more efficient than the Delta version.
Yeah, they already have it. Already a Japanese study came out for University of Tokyo. They did a study of about 1,000 people in Chile, because Chile has a 60% vaccination rate nationwide, 1 dose. But yet they're still having a COVID wave, and they did studies down there, and it seems like that new variant is vaccine resistant. But hopefully more studies start happening to make sure that's a fact and confirmed. But right now, that's what it seemed the last study that came out.
You know what's really weird too? I forget where I heard this from.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Rona, people don't want to get vaccinated, but when they heard Trump say hydroxychloroquine, they were buying tablets that are meant to clean fish tanks right off the bat.
Bleach.
And they say, well, we don't know if it's been, we don't know about the vaccines and the safety and the testing, but y'all eating tablets. You're actually eating fish tank cleaner tablets.
Yeah,
All right.
Trump got the vaccine when? Like fucking January or some shit? Like, no, December? I mean, he got it a long time ago.
Tucker Carlson got it a long time ago.
He got it a long time ago. The efficiency rate of the vaccine is probably going down now because they had it so long ago. Like, but that's politics as usual. Luckily, there's a little bit of a crack with people actually trying to do something to keep people from getting kicked out the house. But this skipping 2 days, already damage is being done. We just show a little clip from that guy in Rhode Island. So
do you know what else is politics as usual? All the billions of dollars that were earmarked to help people. Like, remember when they gave all that money to Wall Street? That money went out really fast.
Yeah, it went out.
But when it came to, we got a couple of $1 billion to, make sure that we don't have a whole swath of Americans out into the street living there all at the same time. So we have this hoop of flames to jump through and that red tape. And then you have to crawl on your hands and knees across glass that's set on fire with gasoline.
Like, I can't believe they ended the eviction moratorium, even though people are barely getting the eviction aid money. It's like it's coming.
No, they're trying to hurry up the evictions through before that money comes through. Because at this point, it's not even about the landlords getting paid. Just like you saw from that idiot for a landlord that the fucking attorney for the landlord. Oh, we don't want the money that we're seeking. No. Don't give us the money. Nope. We have a chance to ruin somebody's life, and we're gonna fucking take it.
And they'd have run into the. So that's politics as usual. Hopefully, you guys keep up to date with this eviction stuff, with the extended unemployment stuff.
Can you tell them why they should care?
Why they should care? Because are you worried about crime going up, or are you worried about desperate, sad people breaking into your car because they can't pay rent?
Do you know what human beings tend to do?
Taken away.
Do you know what human beings tend to do when they have really bad problems that lead to desperation? They tend to make their problem the problems of other people. So if you only care about yourself out there, you might want to consider that you could get hijacked at a red light. You could get carjacked. They could hold your kids for ransom. They could hold you for ransom. They can take your cream of wheat and your ramen and hold that for ransom. robbing you in the street because they've got nothing to feed their kids. If you don't want someone else to make their problem your problem, then start caring about somebody other than yourself. Because we all have to live on this damaged, poisoned, green turning brown ball spinning around the sun.
That's openly trying to kill us now. So that's Black Power Magic Hour on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, on act.tv, almost 54,000 subscribers. And then Dr. Regine's, he's live on Twitch, Discord, YouTube, talking shit. And that's politics as usual.